when you thought it was just that they were going to get banned for betting on baseball or something like that, it's turned into that they are involved in a highly illegal situation. Because the initial reports, guys, I don't know if you saw that initially Clase and Luis Ortiz only had received $12,000 on this whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
$12,000. Well, that's why that's just like the tip of the iceberg. But also, you've only gotten paid $12,000. Luis Ortiz's salary this year, Brad, do you want to know how much that was?
It was a lot more than $12,000.
It was $820,000, or it was, I think the league minimum $760,000. But I saw online he was supposed to get 1 year $820,000. Emanuel Clase was in the middle of a 5-year, $20 million.
I think Clase made $15,000 a day.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right? Unbelievable.
It's got to be more.
There's got to be more to it. And then Pablo Torre was throwing out part of the articles, Zach, that was saying Clase was texting with a bettor or something on that, and they had the emojis going because Clase threw a pitch to Andy Pajes, of all people, if you watch that, and it was supposed to be a ball, which Clase threw, but the batter swung. Therefore, the bettor who bet that it would be a ball lost. And then the bettor allegedly texted Clase a GIF, which of a man hanging himself with toilet paper, and then Clase replied with a GIF of a sad puppy dog face. So I have questions about the emojis, but that was back. This is also dating back to like 2023, Zach. Is that also where this case is going?
Yes. So it's been, from my understanding on what, we've seen is Clase has been doing this since 2023 for multiple years. And I believe it was towards the end that Luis Ortiz got involved. I do not believe Luis Ortiz was involved for a majority of it. I think he was towards the end of both of their careers at this point. I think it's safe to say that he got involved.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's crazy for me in this whole thing, Luis Ortiz was continuing to keep his career afloat. You're going year by year. Clase, hypothetically, when he's a free agent again, it would have been in 2 years. Could have cashed in because you see how much teams need bullpen help, and specifically closers, right, guys? Like you see that demand. That's why I'm really curious to see what the rest of the details come out. But the bigger part of this is they will be banned from baseball. It's not an if, like it's going to happen. They could go to prison. But to drive this point home more, Jeff Passan was on the Dan Patrick Show and talked about the biggest fear that MLB is going to face with this, and that is when you make the game not seem real anymore, that it's scripted. So let's play that clip of Jeff Passan on the Dan Patrick Show.
For joining us. Bring us up to speed. Can you explain the situation with the Guardians pitchers?
Yeah, it's not great, Dan. And this is really the intersection of gambling and sports and where it allegedly can go wrong. An indictment was unsealed yesterday by the Eastern District of New York, which is the same U.S. Attorney's Office that indicted Damon Jones and Terry Rozier and others involved in a separate alleged gambling scheme. In this case, Luis Ortiz, a Cleveland Guardians pitcher, and Emanuel Clase, who is widely regarded as one of the best closers in Major League Baseball, 3-time All-Star, 2-time Mariano Rivera reliever of the year in the American League, allegedly conspired with bettors to place proposition bets on individual pitches. So, for example, you can bet whether a single pitch is going to be a ball or a strike. And they would get together, according to prosecutors beforehand, and say, this pitch in this inning is going to be a ball. And what would happen is, $10,000 or so would be wagered. Sometimes it was more, sometimes it was less. This allegedly happened a significant number of times, up to the point where the government alleges that more than $400,000 was made on Emanuel Clase's pitches alone. And then this is something that's going back, Dan, allegedly to May of 2023. Ortiz came in, according to prosecutors, joined the scheme this year, and on June 15th, threw a ball, then was paid $5,000 to do so, and Clase got $5,000 for facilitating it. On June 27th, did that one more time, and the payment was $7,000. Now, Ortiz's attorney came out and regardless of how this turns out in court, the notion that they are going to be back pitching at any point in Major League Baseball seems unlikely.
So later on there, that was giving the full description. Like, this is detailed. You don't indict anybody unless you have evidence. Like, because prosecutors don't want to lose. Like, they expect to win. And they have a lot of information here, and this is very deep-rooted. But the biggest thing is when you take away what's real to a sports fan and not. And now what's everyone going to think now, Zach? Well, Clase's been doing this for multiple years. The Guardians were in the postseason. And wait a minute, is there any chance he was throwing pitches there in those circumstances? Now, when you watch how the game's unfolded and how you play, you just don't know the result. I mean, hell, Andy Pages swinging at a pitch that's 10 feet outside the zone. That's baseball. Like, hitters will get fooled and they will swing at bad pitches. But it leads you to think of, well, what is actually happening? And once that doubt is created in fans' minds, then the game's at risk. Yeah. And yeah, Jeff Passan saying they're not going to be pitching anytime soon. They're going to be banned. I don't see how they're not going to be banned under any circumstances here.
In Major League Baseball, I think.
But even as the Winter League, Dominican, I think, banned them too. Or the Dominican, I thought, came out and said that.
I saw them pitching a few weeks ago.
Oh, they did?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anything's come out. I just remember seeing a video of at least Clase warming up with a team of throwing a bullpen a few weeks ago over in the Dominican Republic. I'm going to be honest. If it comes out that he was putting money, that he won money when they lost the ALDS, this taints Major League Baseball majorly. This very much can be something that people look back on and will not watch anymore. But I'm going to be honest. If it was just the first pitch of random at-bats, doesn't change my opinion. Like, if anything, I'm more like, well, I guess that sucks if you bet for a strike or something like that, or if it ended up impacting the game. I think this was one of those things where it's like, what were we doing here? It didn't make me question, at least at this moment. Now, more information could come out, like, we've been saying about maybe the ALDS, maybe some guys coming out with game, if games are on the line and they're throwing games, now we have tainted Major League Baseball and the product and competition of that for a very long time. But if it's just they were trying to make a quick buck off the first pitch of an inning, I'm more like, those guys are just kind of stupid than I am like, hey, this is tainting. I can't watch baseball because it's scripted and all that. I just more have this is a few people that were making dumb decisions thinking they wouldn't get caught. If it impacted games, if they were throwing games, now Major League Baseball is in a horrible place.
Well, but here's the part. As soon as you allow one of these things and saying it's a dumb mistake, why I mentioned how much money that they make, why would you ever risk being an MLB pitcher or player? And this is what grinds my gears, Brad. Maybe we got to bring back a grinds my gears segment. But what grinds my gears, unless you found yourself in a terrible spot and hole where because we don't know what they got themselves into and how they got themselves into it. But if you're talking about how hard it is to make the big leagues and you're there and you're making this money, and Emanuel Clase, to me, you are one of the best damn closers on the planet. And you're giving that up because of some pitches because you think you can earn a quick butt. That doesn't make sense to me. But the biggest part that doesn't make sense to me is, why on earth would you put yourself in that position unless there's something that we're going to find out later? Yeah. Because you just jeopardized everything you've worked decades for to get here. Like, I can't tell you what I would wish to say that I could be in the big leagues, Zach. Like what I could wish to say, man, I got there, I earned it. Not only did I earn it, I'm pretty damn good, and I can keep playing this for a while and make more money. It's a privilege to play in the big leagues. It's also so damn hard to play in the big leagues. And to throw that away just like that, it kind of is infuriating to me on so many levels. And I'm curious what all the evidence is going to come out. You know what's going to solve it though, Zach? Putting limits on pitching bets, apparently. So MLB just put out today, Brad.
Yep.
That there's a wager limit now on gambling per pitch.
Nope.
That's not the graphic as well.
I just love to keep putting that up. Yeah.
Here, I have it right here.
Thank you.
I don't think I put it. Oh, where
over under 3 seconds, it'll be up. There it is.
Oh, this is a shit.
So the MLB announced a $200 limit on prop bets with sports books in the aftermath of the Guardian scandal. Yeah. Well, that's going to stop it.
Sure.
Right?
No.
Yeah, and
absolutely freaking not.
No, and this is all pitch, I believe, individual pitch props, and I don't think you can parlay them anymore, which is what was happening. Where I believe it was some parlays with the velocity and ball or strike. One, I just don't know if why can we bet? I get the whole allure of hey, you can bet on every pitch. You think the next pitch is going to be a strike, you can bet on that. I get that whole thing, but at the same time, why, if they just take that away, I don't know many people who are going to be upset that they can't bet the second pitch in the third inning is going to be a strike. There is sometimes there's just too much. I get it. This is a step. You can only bet 200 as a limit on it. All of that, I guess that's I don't think that's going to stop people. But at the end of the day, some of these props, betting on a random pitch to be a strike or a ball, I don't think that should have been an option.
You know what saves everybody in this case? Just eliminate the prop bet for the first pitch of a game. Just eliminate it.
Yeah.
Because you're still going to make a lot of money, people betting on the game, gamblers. People are going to do this.
I would love to know how much money's been bet. And that's why I think they got caught, because it was probably, they got flagged because it was because that's why they were caught, is because these websites flagged these things. And they're probably why are people putting this much money on a first pitch striker ball? I can't imagine. I might be completely wrong, so I don't want to go on, be no, this is, right. But I can't imagine that the majority of major league or of gambling money on baseball is going on individual pitches. That doesn't make sense.
No, it's not going to be on that. But at the end of the day, eliminate that if you want. The issue at hand, yes, gambling is more regulated. The reason why they got caught is because of how regulated it is.
Exactly.
That's a reason why. And I want to point this out. Gambling has been going on for decades. Illegal gambling has been going on for decades. It's the fact now that the regulation, to me, isn't the problem. It's the players making choices on what they want to do. Yep. We can talk all we want, and if you don't mind, Brad, throwing the camera on me real quickly. It don't matter at all what happens moving forward. The player has the choice. The player has the choice. Every spring training, we would sit down there and we would talk about this. All right, here's the rules. Performance-enhancing drugs. If you take them, this is the risk that you take. Proceed with caution. You do it, you're going to be suspended. You do it enough, you're going to be banned. Okay, great. Other thing with gambling. Rule number 1, do not bet or be associated with anything with betting on baseball. If you do, you will be subject to being banned from the game. It's black and white. They said that before it was regulated with MLB for years ahead of time. It's because now that it's regulated that we're putting more of an emphasis that players feel that they can earn more money. No, it was the decisions that were made by the players. You have a choice. Do you want to play in the major leagues or do you not? And if you don't, do whatever the hell you want. But if you do and you get caught, you're done. To me, the stupidity of it is, unless someone was holding your family at gunpoint or you put yourself something horrific situation that we don't know.
Right.
And we don't know. And maybe that's the smallest percentage, Brad, of things. And I know that could happen. But the bigger part is the players are voluntarily getting involved. Like, you're voluntarily making the adjustment. I told you guys this. Through everything that I've done, never done any betting on baseball myself. Why? I never wanted to put myself in that position, and I'm no longer in baseball. And I still don't do that. That's the choice that you make. And goodness gracious, man, it's not going to be the end of this. We are going to hear more of this.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, like you said, the making it illegal or all of that, all making it illegal to bet's going to do is just take it all back down underground. And you're not going to, part of the reason that this was caught was because they were doing it and it was flagged by these sites. And they were like, wait, this is fishy. We need to investigate this. If gambling in sports, I mean, you go all the way back to, what's it called? The World Series, where apparently, what was it? The Black Sox, through the World Series. Gambling's going to happen. I would rather it be regulated and you can find the dummies doing this than it all be underground and it comes out years after the fact. And you're like, well, that kind of sucks now that it's 10, 15 years later and we figure this stuff out because it happened underground. So people are going to gamble. I would rather it be regulated than it be underground shady things.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this is your choice as a player or executive. If you would like to bet or take part, great. You're not gonna play professional sports. You're not going to be involved with professional sports in that manner. It's that simple. You make that choice, black and white. I think that was the one thing I've learned the most about professional baseball. Every spring training, that's what it is. But we're not going to hear the end of it. And quite frankly, Zach, to your point of it, why did it regulate? Because it drives money. The country makes a shit ton off of it. And people can say whether it's bad or not. Would you rather it be that it's actually regulated and people can watch it? Or would you rather it be underground, like you said, Zach, and you don't know what the hell's happening?
Yep.
It's moving in silence. At the end of the day, I'm cool with it. Know your limits, know yourself. But if you want to be a big league player, don't get caught up in this shit, or it's going to come back and kick you in the ass. And right now, these guys' careers not only in jeopardy, time behind bars is a serious situation that they could be facing here.
And I think that this is going to be something, and I've said this before, I would not be surprised if they get, I've seen the 65 years thrown out there and everyone's like, no, they're not going to get anywhere close to that. Someone's got to be made an example. And that's unfortunate, but I would not be surprised if they really, same thing within the NBA.